We live in a world that celebrates constant movement. From a young age, we're taught to keep doing, keep pushing, keep chasing our goals. If you're not working hard, you're falling behind. Hustle culture has made it seem like success only comes to those who force it into existence. But what if that's not how it really works? What if we've had it backward this whole time? Think about manifestation, the idea that you can bring your desires into reality through thoughts, feelings, and intentions. Most people are told that they have to focus hard, think positively, make vision boards, repeat affirmations, and take nonstop action. But here's a surprising twist. What if trying so hard is exactly why your desires haven't shown up yet? In the world of quantum manifestation, a perspective that blends science and spirituality, chasing your dreams with urgency doesn't attract them. It actually pushes them away. That's because the universe doesn't respond to how badly you want something. It responds to how well your energy matches what you want. Let's break that down in simple terms. Imagine someone wants to be rich. They repeat money affirmations, visualize having more than enough, and hustle every day. But deep down, they still feel broke. They feel stressed, scared, or desperate. That inner state, that feeling of lack, is what the universe is picking up on. So even though they're saying all the right things, they're still stuck. The universe doesn't speak words. It speaks energy. It doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to what you actually are. If you say, I am abundant, but feel anxious every time you check your bank account, your real signal is lack, not abundance. And that's what gets reflected back to you. Most people don't realize this. They think they're manifesting, but really, they're just wishing. They're putting out mixed signals. They're asking for love while feeling unlovable. They're asking for freedom while living in fear. They're dreaming big while vibrating small. That mismatch is what blocks the results. Here's the truth. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you are. Your inner world has to reflect the outer world you're trying to create. The version of you who has everything you want already feels different. They're calm. They're confident. They're aligned. You don't attract your dream life by chasing it. You attract it by becoming the version of you who's already living it. But this is where many people struggle. You might hear advice like, feel like it's already done, or act as if you already have it, and it can feel silly or fake. How are you supposed to feel rich when your bank account is empty? How do you feel loved when you're alone? The answer lies in understanding the deeper principle. It's not about pretending. It's about tuning your inner state. It's about creating emotional alignment, not forcing it, but gently shifting into it. Think of a radio. If you want to listen to a specific station, let's say 98.7 FM, but your dial is set to 88.1, you won't hear the music you want, no matter how loud you turn it up. You have to tune to the right frequency. That's how manifestation works. You have to match the energy of the life you want. In quantum physics, there's a concept called the observer effect. It says that the way you observe something actually changes it. But here's the key. It only works when you observe with trust, not with fear. If you're looking at your life thinking, why isn't it happening yet? You're observing through the lens of doubt that keeps your dreams stuck in possibility mode. They never fully form. But when you observe your life with calm knowing, even before you see the results, the energy shifts and the change begins to happen. This isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about becoming more aware of how your feelings shape your reality. It's about stepping into a space of allowing, not forcing. When you allow yourself to believe that good things are possible, that you're already enough, that your desires are on their way, that's when you create space for them to arrive. It's easy to blame ourselves when manifestation doesn't work. But this isn't about guilt or shame. It's about understanding how powerful your energy really is. Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, they're all part of the signal you're sending out to the universe. People have known this for a long time. Spiritual teachers like Neville Goddard talked about living from the end, feeling as if your dream has already come true. Joe Dispenza, a neuroscientist, teaches that your brain and heart must work together, sending a strong, clear message to the quantum field. Abraham Hicks describes it as getting into the vortex, a state of alignment where everything flows easily. All these teachings come back to the same core truth. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner state. Change your energy, and your life will follow. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Most people struggle with this because it sounds too simple. We've been conditioned to believe that if something's easy, it can't be valuable. We think success has to come from struggle. We think change only happens through hard work. We think we have to earn our happiness. But in the quantum world, the opposite is true. The more you try to force things, the more resistance you create. The more you chase something, the more you confirm you don't have it. That's why people stay stuck even while working hard, because their energy is still tied to lack, not to abundance. And this is why the idea of quantum manifestation can be so powerful and so misunderstood. It asks us to stop doing so much and start being more, to stop asking and start aligning, to let go of the old belief that effort equals worth and start trusting that simplicity has its own power. This doesn't mean you sit on the couch and wait for magic. It means you take inspired action, not desperate action. It means you live from a place of wholeness, not from a place of needing to be fixed. It means you trust the process, even when the results haven't shown up yet. The truth is, manifestation isn't about tricking the universe into giving you what you want. It's about becoming the version of yourself who's ready to receive it. That version of you already exists. You just have to tune in. Start by asking yourself, how would I feel if it were already mine? How would I walk, talk, breathe, and think if I already had the love, the freedom, the success I want? Then practice feeling that way a little more each day. Let that emotional frequency become your new normal. Remember, the universe doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to certainty. Not the kind of certainty that comes from proof, but the kind that comes from belief, from trust, from knowing deep down that what you desire is already part of your story. It's just waiting for you to line up with it. And that's the shift. That's the secret most people miss. Not because it's hidden, but because it's so simple. And simplicity doesn't sell. It's not flashy or dramatic, but it's real. And it works. Let's take a journey inward. You don't need to push harder or run faster to get what you want. In fact, the opposite is true. The life you desire, the peace, the love, the success, the freedom already exists. Not in some far-off fantasy, but in a version of reality that's already out there. Quantum physics says every possible version of your life is already happening. Your job isn't to chase that life. Your job is to tune into it, like tuning a radio to the right station. You don't force it. You find the right frequency and let it come through. Most people don't realize that the universe doesn't respond to what they want. It responds to who they are, right now, in this moment. You can't trick it. You can't say one thing and feel another. If your energy is filled with doubt, fear, and stress, that's the message you're sending. And the universe listens closely to that message. It doesn't judge you, but it mirrors you. It reflects the signal you're putting out. So if you're always worried, always waiting, always doubting, the universe reflects that same energy back. You get more situations that match that fear, that waiting, that doubt. That's why chasing doesn't work. You can do all the right things, say affirmations, make vision boards, write out goals, but if you're not aligned inside, Those tools are just surface level. It's like putting on a mask and hoping your reflection changes. But the mirror can't change unless you do. You can't shift your outside world without shifting your inner world first. The key to change is being, not pretending, not forcing, not faking. Being. Being the version of you who already has what you want. Feeling what that version feels. Thinking like they think. Moving through the day with the energy of someone who's already there. You don't wait for the money to show up before you feel abundant. You feel abundant, and that draws the money in. You don't wait for the love to arrive before you feel loved. You feel loved first, and that's what makes love show up. Your thoughts send a signal out into the world. Your feelings pull things back in. Joe Dispenza explains it simply. Your thoughts are electric, and your emotions are magnetic. Together, they create a unique energy pattern, your vibrational signature. This signature is what the universe responds to. Not the words you say, not the things you hope for, but the energy you live in every day. Let's say you want financial freedom. That's a beautiful goal. But if your daily energy is filled with worry about bills, fear of not having enough, and doubt that it will ever change, then your signal is scarcity. And scarcity attracts more scarcity. It's not a punishment. It's just how energy works. The universe reflects what you are, not what you want. Here's the twist most people miss. You don't have to wait to feel different. You can start practicing the energy of that better life right now. Not as make-believe, but as practice. As a choice. Somewhere in the infinite universe, the version of you who already lives in peace, abundance, love, and joy is real. You're not making it up, you're remembering it. And the more you remember it, the more you become it. Science backs this up. The brain is not fixed. It can rewire itself. This is called neuroplasticity. When you imagine a future event and truly feel the emotions of it, joy, gratitude, confidence, your brain starts building the pathways as if it's already happening. Do it enough, and your body begins to believe. You start acting, thinking, and feeling like it's already true. And when your body believes, your world changes. Neville Goddard said, "Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled." He wasn't telling you to fake it. He meant feel it so deeply that it becomes your reality. Let that feeling become more real than what's around you. More real than your current problems. More real than your doubts. Because when your nervous system gets used to that future feeling, your whole reality begins to shift to match it. This isn't about wishful thinking. It's not about thinking positive and hoping for the best. It's about alignment. Real, deep, emotional, and mental alignment with the version of life you want to live. The energy comes first. The physical world follows. That's how manifestation truly works. Most people ask the universe to change things for them. They want signs, proof, guarantees. But here's the truth. The signs come after the shift. You don't wait for magic to show up. You become the magic. You don't wait for synchronicities. You start living in sync. That's when things start lining up. That's when time seems to speed up. That's when what you've been asking for starts showing up, not by accident, but because you became a match for it. In quantum mechanics, when something is observed with intention, it changes. The act of observing turns possibility into reality. But not all observation is the same. When you look at your life with fear and doubt, you strengthen those outcomes. When you observe with clarity, love, and trust, your power to shape your life grows. You collapse a new version of reality into the present. So ask yourself, what version of life are you tuning into every day? When you wake up in the morning, what energy are you choosing? When you think about your future, are you feeling hope or dread? Are you aligning with trust or with fear? These choices shape your vibration, and your vibration shapes your life. Acting as if isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about stepping into the version of you who already knows it's done. It's not about trying to be confident. It's about letting the confidence rise naturally because you feel secure in who you are becoming. It's not about waiting for proof. It's about being the evidence through your thoughts, your feelings, your actions. And when you really embody that version of yourself, not just for a moment, but consistently, that's when everything changes. You don't just attract your dream life. You become the gravitational pull that draws it in. The universe doesn't care about your to-do list. It responds to your frequency. If you live in fear, fear comes back. If you live in trust, trust builds. If you live in the energy of already having it, you will start to have it. Not always in the way you expect, not always on your timeline, but always in alignment with your signal. So instead of trying to force your future, become it. Not later, not someday, now. Feel the joy now. Feel the gratitude now. Feel the love now. Because the moment you do, the field, the energy that connects all things, begins to rearrange itself around you. This is how transformation begins. Quietly, internally, not with fireworks or grand announcements, but with small moments of feeling, of choosing differently, of living from a higher place. Those moments build. They become momentum. And eventually, they become your reality. Remember, the universe is not granting wishes. It's responding to resonance. Your energy speaks louder than your words. So what is your energy saying? What future are you inviting in just by how you show up? When you learn to hold that future version of yourself in your heart, not with desperation, but with love and calm certainty, everything around you begins to shift. You'll notice people showing up differently, opportunities appearing out of nowhere, solutions replacing problems. It won't feel like magic. It will feel like truth, the kind of truth you always knew deep down was possible. Everything you've ever dreamed of already exists as a possibility. Your dream job, your ideal relationship, your perfect home, your sense of freedom, these aren't far-off ideas or lucky breaks reserved for a few. According to quantum physics, all of these outcomes are real potentials. They exist in an invisible field of energy that holds every version of your life. You could call it the quantum field or the field of possibilities. What matters is this: these possibilities are not waiting in some distant future. They're here, now, waiting for you to choose one. But here's the catch: just thinking about them isn't enough. Wishing for something, making a vision board, or repeating affirmations won't change your life on their own. To turn potential into reality, you need something stronger: focused attention, deep emotion, and belief. The quantum field responds not to empty thoughts, but to energy. Real energy. Energy that comes from your heart and mind working together in a state of alignment. This is called collapsing the wave. In quantum physics, a wave represents all the possibilities that could happen. When you focus your awareness on one possibility, especially with strong emotion, you help that possibility become real. But not just any type of focus will do. It's not about a quick thought or a passing wish. It's about intense, emotionally charged focus. The kind of focus where you truly feel that what you want is already happening. When your thoughts and emotions send a clear and powerful signal, the universe starts to respond. It's not magic. It's how energy works. The clearer and more consistent your signal, the faster and more powerfully the world around you begins to shift. But here's where things get tricky. Most people live with inner conflict. Their mind might say, "I want to be successful," but their feelings are soaked in worry, doubt, or fear. Their actions don't match their desires. so the energy they send out is mixed, confused, inconsistent. The universe can't respond clearly to that kind of signal. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about the importance of coherence. Coherence means your brain and heart are in sync. Your thoughts and emotions are working together, sending one clear message to the field. When you're coherent, you feel calm, connected, and confident. You're no longer trying to force things. You're not chasing your future, you're becoming it. Let's talk about what happens in your body when you feel powerful emotions like gratitude or trust. These feelings aren't just nice to have. They actually change your biology. Gratitude boosts dopamine and oxytocin, the feel-good chemicals. Trust raises serotonin, which brings calm and peace. These aren't just emotional shifts, they're chemical changes. Your whole body enters a different state, and this state becomes your new home base. It's how you start attracting experiences that match your inner world. The key is to feel these emotions even before your outer world gives you a reason to. Most people wait for something good to happen before they feel good. But the real power comes when you flip that. When you feel good first, when you feel grateful, excited, and confident without any proof, then the universe starts to mirror that back to you. Neville Goddard once said, "Your assumptions harden into facts." What he meant is simple. What you deeply believe and consistently feel starts shaping your reality. Your world bends to match the energy you hold inside. And again, this isn't just philosophy, it's rooted in science. The observer effect in quantum physics shows that simply observing something can change it. Your attention, your energy, your belief, they all influence what shows up in your life. But staying in this powerful state is the challenge. It's easy to feel great while meditating or journaling. You might have a moment of clarity where everything feels possible. But then you check your phone, get distracted, or fall back into doubt. You scroll through social media, compare yourself to others, and suddenly that aligned version of you fades into the background. This is why consistency matters more than perfection. You don't need to feel amazing 24/7. But you do need to return again and again to the version of you who already has the life you want. Not just in thought, but in feeling. Not just in words, but in your actions and habits. Think of it like planting a seed. If you plant it and dig it up every day to check if it's growing, you'll never give it a chance to bloom. Your energy is the same. You need to plant the seed of your desired future and keep watering it with belief, trust, and aligned action. Every time you choose presence over distraction, calm over chaos, or trust over fear, you're strengthening your signal. You're telling the universe, "This is who I am now." And then something powerful begins to happen. Life starts responding. You start noticing signs. Little things click into place. You get a call from someone you were just thinking about. An opportunity shows up. You get an idea that leads to your next step. These aren't coincidences. They're synchronicities, clues that your energy is shifting and reality is adjusting to match you. The more you stay in this energy, the more grounded your new reality becomes. It no longer feels like something you're chasing. It feels like something that already belongs to you. Not because you forced it, but because you became it. And this is the moment when you stop needing proof. You stop needing signs to keep going. Your certainty becomes your sign. You feel it in your body, a deep knowing that what you want is already yours. That it's unfolding, even if you can't see every detail yet. At this point, you've moved beyond wishful thinking. You've stepped into what we can call energetic authorship. You're not just reacting to life, you're creating it, shaping it, and guiding it with your focus and your feelings. But let's be honest, this is where most people get stuck. Not because they don't believe in change, but because they're still living from the same patterns. They're trying to think their way into a new life without feeling it. They're hoping for something new while still acting like their old self. The universe doesn't respond to hope. It responds to energy, real, embodied energy. When you start living as the person who already has what you want, life can't help but respond. You stop waiting for a new reality to arrive. You become the magnet that draws it in. This doesn't mean pretending. It doesn't mean lying to yourself. It means practicing. Practicing how it feels to be that version of you. Practicing how they walk, talk, breathe, and make decisions. Choosing thoughts and actions that match that version, day by day, moment by moment. And the beauty of it is this: you don't need to do it all at once. Just a little shift here, a bit more trust there. Over time, all those small choices begin to stack up. They create momentum. They create alignment. And before you know it, you're not dreaming about your future, you're living in it. This is what it means to collapse the wave, to turn possibility into form. You don't force it. You embody it. You feel it, believe it, act from it, and trust it. And when you do, your outer world begins to catch up with your inner one. You don't have to wait. You just have to become. Quantum manifestation isn't about wishful thinking or pretending to be positive all the time. It's not about faking a smile and hoping something good shows up. It's about learning to match the version of yourself that already has what you want. That version of you already exists somewhere in what some call the quantum field, or infinite possibilities. You're not building your dream life from nothing. You're tuning into it like turning a dial on a radio until you land on the right station. And when you do, that reality starts to meet you. You don't need to chase anything when you're in alignment. Chasing usually comes from a place of fear, from feeling like you're missing something, like you're not there yet. But the version of you that already has your dream life isn't chasing. They're calm, grounded, confident. That's how you know you're getting closer, when you stop obsessing over how and when something will show up, and start trusting that it's already happening. A lot of people get stuck thinking they have to do more to manifest. But it's not about doing more. It's about becoming more aligned. And becoming aligned doesn't mean working harder or forcing things. It means changing your energy, the way you feel inside. When you feel peaceful, when you feel grateful, when you feel like it's already done, that's the energy that pulls in the reality you want. You've probably heard the phrase, you can't get there from there. That means you can't manifest joy, freedom, or abundance while staying stuck in feelings of frustration, fear, or lack. You have to become the version of you who feels free before the freedom shows up. You have to feel at peace before the situation resolves. It seems backward, but that's how energy works. You attract what you are, not what you want. So, how do you do that? You start acting like the version of you who already has what you want. You speak like them. You walk like them. You make choices from that place. Most importantly, you feel like them. That's when the shift begins. You stop feeling desperate for signs, and instead, you start noticing how life reflects your new energy. Thoughts that used to stress you out no longer have power. New ideas flow in naturally. Your intuition gets louder. You begin sensing paths opening up that you didn't see before. This is when things get exciting, when reality starts feeling more fluid. Time doesn't feel as rigid. Synchronicities, those magical coincidences, start happening more often. Someone calls you just when you think of them. A door opens that you didn't expect. Life starts feeling like it's working with you instead of against you. That's the quantum field responding to your alignment. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about something called gamma coherence. It happens when your brain and heart sync up, especially when you're feeling high energy emotions like love, awe, or deep gratitude. In that state, your nervous system opens up. You become more receptive to change. You become magnetic. You don't have to force anything. Reality begins to flow through you. That's when manifestation becomes natural. So let's make this simple. Stop chasing. Start aligning. Stop trying so hard. Start feeling as if it's already yours. The version of you who already has the life you want. They're not overwhelmed. They're not stuck in self-doubt. And they're not waiting for permission. They're walking with quiet confidence. That's who you're becoming. Or more accurately, that's who you've always been, and you're just remembering it now. You've probably had moments where everything just worked out. Maybe you didn't plan it, maybe you didn't force it, but it all aligned perfectly. That wasn't luck. That was the result of being in the right energy. That's how quantum manifestation works. And if this message is reaching you right now, there's a reason. It's because you're closer than you think. You're already on the path. The shift is already happening inside you. You may have felt like things are taking too long, like maybe you're doing something wrong. But here's the truth. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not behind. You're not blocked. You don't need to do more. You just need to settle into the version of you who knows. The one who no longer needs proof. The one who walks in certainty, not because they have all the answers, but because they trust their energy more than their fears. Every time you choose that version of you, the calm, grounded, magnetic version, you collapse the distance between now and your desires. So let this moment be the one where you stop doubting and start remembering. Let this be the moment you say, I'm done chasing. I already am. If this message resonates with you, type 777. Why? Because in spiritual traditions, 777 is the number of divine alignment. It's a sign that your path is unfolding exactly as it should. When you type it, you're not just leaving a comment, you're claiming your alignment. You're saying, I'm ready. I'm tuned in. I know it's mine. And when we do this together, the energy multiplies. It lifts the whole space. You become part of the wave. Quantum manifestation doesn't need to take years. You don't need complex rituals or constant affirmations. The power is in how you feel consistently. Not once a day. Not when it's convenient, but as a lifestyle. You practice coming back to alignment again and again until it becomes who you are. It becomes natural. And here's the key. You can't fake it. You can't pretend to feel abundant while secretly clinging to doubt. You can't meditate your way to change while holding on to your old identity. The field doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your vibration. It hears the energy underneath your thoughts. So how do you change your vibration? By choosing again. When you slip into doubt, choose alignment. When you start chasing, pause and return to trust. When fear shows up, welcome it without judgment, but don't let it take the lead. This is how you reclaim your power. The truth is, manifestation is not about doing things the right way. It's about becoming a match to what you want through energy, emotion, and identity. You choose the version of you who already has it, and you keep choosing them every day. And one day, you're no longer acting, you're simply living it. The beauty of all this is that it's actually very simple. Too simple for minds that are used to struggle and overthinking. Too soft for people who've been taught that life must be hard. But the simplicity is the secret. When you let go of trying so hard, when you stop needing evidence, and when you start being the evidence, everything changes. The most powerful manifestations don't always show up with fireworks. Sometimes they arrive in a quiet moment, a breath, a wave of peace, a sudden knowing that everything is already working out. The universe speaks softly when it delivers what you've already aligned with. So ask yourself, what if the thing you've been waiting for has been waiting for you to stop waiting? What if your dream life is already here, just one decision away, waiting for you to say, I'm ready? Let this be that moment. Let this be the moment where you stop reaching and start receiving, where you stop doubting and start remembering, where you shift from trying to being. Your words matter. Your energy matters. Your choice to align matters. When you leave a comment, set an intention, or even whisper an affirmation to yourself, you're sending a signal. You're claiming your place in the field. And as others do the same, we create something bigger than ourselves. We become a wave, a movement, a frequency of possibility. If this message stirred something in you, stay connected, not just for more content, but for more reminders of who you are. You're not learning to manifest. You're remembering how powerful your energy really is. You're not becoming magnetic. You already are. And when you stop chasing and start aligning, that's when the magic truly begins.